Hello everyone, my name is Ronaldo and welcome to my presentation. In this video, I'm going to explain to you about the server. Server in a bigger picture, what is a server, why do you need a server, etc, etc. So, sorry, my bad. I'm Ronaldo, I'm from Virtus Technology Indonesia. I'm a sales trainee, so yeah, that's a bit about me. So let's get on to it. First of all, I want to explain to you about the server. What is a server? A server, a server is basically a computer that is able to serve data and information for multiple clients that is linked to it by a network. So please emphasize on the words network. So without network, without the internet, you can't use a server. So the usage of it is a centralization usage. So imagine you have multiple computers. You have two laptops, and let's say you have three PCs, personal computers. So when let's say two laptops, let's say your friends have a laptop, two of your friends have a laptop, and three of your friends have a PCs. So you as a whole, as a group, want to access one data or want to access one information, one documents. So instead of the five of you, you know, go to one PC, go to one computer and retrieve that data. Instead of that, you could use a server. So the five of you can access the data, the information that you need at the same time. You see what I mean? So that is the usage of a server, a centralization usage to simplify your work, to simplify the time costs, to reduce costs, to reduce complexity, because it's so simple. And again, in a technical sense, in this presentation, I already write it. In a technical sense, a server is an instance of a computer program or device that accepts and responds to requests made by another program known as a client. So I'm gonna have I will give you another example. So this is one scenario. Okay, in this scenario, let's say you're on a vacation. You're on vacation to Bali. Sorry, your I mean your house is in Jakarta and your office, your work is in Jakarta. Your work office is in Jakarta. But now you're on a vacation in Bali. So while you're on vacation, one of your clients called you. Hi, you know what? I need the data. I need these documents urgent, ASAP. But you're in Bali, not in Jakarta. So imagine if you don't have a server, you have to go back to Jakarta, you have to go back to your house, to your laptops, or maybe your PCs, or maybe the data is safe in your works laptop or working PCs. You have to retrieve it. You have to go back to Jakarta, retrieve the data, retrieve the request that your client needs, and then you have to go back to Bali to continue your vacation. That's you know, that's crazy. That's cost a lot. That's not just cost the money, that's also cost the time, because a lot of people say that time is not equal to money. So when you spend a lot of time just to send a client your work that is on your PCs back in your house or back in your office, that is so crazy to imagine. That's the first scenario. The second scenario is when you're on vacation in Bali, one of your clients needs some requests or needs some documents, needs some information, needs some data, but you have the access of a server. You don't have to go back to your house. You don't have to go to your office. What you have to do is go to some place in Bali, some place nearby, open your laptops or open your smartphone, open your device that is linked to the internet, and then you can access it from there. See how simple it is? That is so simple. So that is why we all need a server, especially in work-related tasks, because work is so important, but your time is important too. This is another reason why you need a server. Um, Another reason is to keep your data more secure, because every server, every company that provides server, you know, that guarantees you a security for your data, for your information, and for your files. So you need a server because you have to keep your data more secure. Another reason is 24/7 work rate. A server can work 24 hours, 365 without having a problem. So imagine if you have a laptop that have to work 24/7, 365. In that period of time, someday, someplace, sometime in that period of time, your laptop or your PCs is going to explode. So that's why you need a server, because the workload that it could handle, the workload that it could, progress, it's so big. That is why you need a server. So because the server is so important, because the server have to work 24/7, 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day, a week, and a year. That is why the server needs some, robust, robust construction. You have multiple, you have to, a server have to have a multiple storage. A server have to have a multiple processors, and a server, a room of server, a data center have to, you have to set the, what do you call it? Um, the the wet the weather. I don't know how to say it, but the weather inside the room, you have to set it into some particular numbers, because a server cannot be overheated. Once it overheated, it could jeopardize another clients, or the other data, the other information. Though that's why server needs a robust construction. So these are the two types of server. The first one is public server. For example, Dropbox. Um, we might know it. A lot of people might know it as Dropbox, because the name Dropbox is oftenly used amongst the others, amongst us. And a public server they use, um, I mean, a public server, the users of public servers is usually a normal person, a normal consumer like us, because a public server is not, it's not very safe, in a sense that it is safe. A public server is safe when you save your data, when you save your information in a public server. It is safe, but not as safe if you use the private server. That's why the private server is oftenly used in a company. For example, Virtus Indonesia. I have an email with the domain virtusindonesia.com. I have a friend who have a domain of email virtusindonesia.com. So when the directors or the managers give us some data, give us some numbers, information, give us some tasks, assignments that we have to access, we have to do. The only one that could access the data, the only one that could access the assignments, the designated assignments, is the only one who use and who have an email which domain is virtusindonesia.com. So when you access it, even when you access it with your own private email, your own personal email, you couldn't open it. You couldn't open it because that's the security level that private server offers to you, offers to the clients. You see, the accessibility and the security is more secure. So these are the examples of a server. You know, this is called blade server. It consists of multiple servers, multiple storage. You see here, one square of this, 2 squares of this. This is 8 in the first row, 8 in the second row. This is 16 storage in one construction server. And that is why you need a server. This is also a server. This is the processors, also the processors, and this is you know, the outside construction of a server. You have a bezel in here, you have a bezel in here, you have a rail in here, and you have the, you know, the cover to close up a CPU, a computer. Because if you remember what I said, like the first minute of this video, a server is basically a computer, so it needs a bezel, a cover, and a rail to, you know, to attach one the other, becomes one. So that is a brief of a server explanation for me. I'm sorry if I made a lot of grammatically error mistakes. If I made a lot of pronunciation mistakes, I'm gonna learn. I will learn more still. And yeah, good night, good morning, good evening to all of you that listen to this explanation video of mine. Thank you. See you soon.